1. Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James. How we all doing, everybody?
Hey, there he is, Mr. James. Very happy and cheerful and smiling with his big, massive mug of coffee.
Almost the size of a human head.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if my headphones are a bit... Hold on. Speak again for a sec.
I said almost the size of a human head.
That's fine. You're coming through as...
A human head.
A human head. Sorry, I just needed to check because actually it turned out that one of my headphones was falling out of my ear, but I thought that you were coming through slightly different, but you're not. It's nothing wrong.
Jeff. She's Mutton Jeff, people.
I am when it comes to one of the headphones falling out. Yeah, definitely.
Just remember, to be fair, Salty Table, she's 125, as we learned in the last episode.
And to be fair, I've had to listen to James's bullshit for a long, long time, and I have to listen to it doubly.
True.
So,
you know. Yeah, it's true.
Send hearing aids.
He ain't lying.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to set up a GoFundMe for hearing things.
Wouldn't you actually, but on that situation, wouldn't you want deafness if you're having to listen to me?
I don't think I'd ever wish deafness on myself, but
okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Let's
tough
be
one.
serious.
I understand. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I could always just say, look, we can't do this podcast anymore. You know, that might be quicker and easier than actually, you know, saying, I don't want to hear anything for the rest of my life.
Yeah, which is the quicker, less vicious option.
Oh, but James, I would be super sad if I didn't record with you. You know I would.
I can appreciate that. I'd be super sad if I didn't record with me too. No, it's wonderful recording with you.
Lovely. Yeah, I know. So much so that he cheats on me with another podcast all the time.
Yeah. What a bastard, eh? What a complete and utter bastard I am. The king of bar stewards. I should be running. Was it Heineken adverts or Carlsberg in the past? The smooth talking bar steward adverts. Yeah,
I can't remember which one it was, but it rings a bell that it might be Carlsberg, but maybe not.
Stephen Fry, as recommended by your smooth talking bar steward.
I like Stephen Fry. He's a good egg.
It was rather shocking when I saw them on the adverts on YouTube. I was like, my God, that man used to be really thin.
I know. I know. Oh, it's so crazy, isn't it? Yeah. So what was this other podcast that you were on then this week?
Yes, I was on Reels and Heels on Saturday, which was really interesting. We were all discussing sort of like comic book things and the upcoming films for the year. And it's also interesting because I'm doing some editorial work with them. I am their film editor and reviewer as a sides kind of thing. So I've written an article for them. It's not yet gone out, but it's not just doing straight up reviews. It's doing like a whole thing around the film. So it's going to be interesting. It's just like a thing that they asked me to do. So I'm going to be doing it for them. No, there's none of that.
Yeah, I was
there's no
say,
money. There's I'm afraid.
I was going to say, are you getting paid for this, or are you?
Unfortunately, no.
Love?
I'm doing it out of love, and the fact that I knew that it's something we'd discussed films with them previously, and I was approached to do it. And if someone thinks I'm good enough and approaches me, I'll give it a shot. So yeah, but no, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be good, and obviously it won't take away from anything we're doing. So we're still doing our stuff, and we'll still do our filmy stuff as well. So it's all good. Really, what I'd like to do is, obviously, I'm sat in a nice leather chair. I should really put a suit on, get the music from the film TV show running. And why not?
And why not? Why not? Indeed. But no, I think it's always fun to have your, so to speak, your fingers in many pies, isn't it? So
yes. Another string to the bow, as they say. And when we say things in pies, we don't mean like the pie fucker in the American Pie films.
That wasn't a finger either, James.
I think it was more than the finger, worryingly so.
Although it was initially a finger, wasn't it?
Yes. Gross.
What would you prefer? Doing that with an apple pie.
A human being or a pie? Yeah, I'm pretty sure a woman's going to win that one out rather than a pie. Because let's be honest, here's the scary one. Here's the really scary thing. We look at the American Pie thing of his relationship with a fruit based and pastry based creation. Imagine if he tried it with one of those McDonald's. Things that they were the as hot as the sun.
Yeah, the fires of hell. Yeah.
That'd cool his dander.
But that's not what I was going to ask you anyway. What I was going to ask was, would you prefer to fuck a pie, or would you prefer that, or a trumpet up your bum? Was what I was going to ask.
Dear God, I'll take neither, thanks.
No, it's would you rather?
I think I'm going to do... Oh, God. I think I'll do the pie. It's probably less risk of hurting me. Unless like you're there and you've gone, I've just freshly made this. Don't want anything to happen to it. Slide it out. Steam's coming off it. It'll never work again if I did that. But yeah. Those salty tadpoles, for those who've tuned in and are listening to this is what we're discussing this week's having sex with inanimate fruit-based, pastry-based objects. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
I have another question as well. And I promised one of our salty tadpoles that I would ask this question.
Okay.
But I will explain it afterwards, okay? So
just one thing before you say it, is it for me specifically or is it a general question?
It's a general question for you.
Oh, okay. So it's specifically for me, right? Go on.
Have you ever wanked so hard that you've given yourself a nosebleed?
Dear God, who asked that question? No, I have not. Ugh. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, my God. Can I just say, if the person asking has experienced that problem and is concerned, seek medical help. There is something deeply wrong with your body.
See, there's proof that I know you don't listen to the Ramble podcast. No. Basically, Jerry Rocher, who's been on before, I'll tell you the story. He was telling a story. I more asked you the question because I just wanted to see you squirm. But so basically he told the story of that happening. At the moment, he's got cancer, so he's going through a lot of treatment and stuff like that. Again, thinks all stuff. I know
Jerry's unwell. Yeah.
So he ended up going to the emergency room because obviously having nosebleeds isn't really a good thing. So he was saying to the doctor that basically he picks his nose and that obviously caused the nosebleed on that occasion. But the first time he had a nosebleed was because he was pleasing himself. He got a nosebleed.
Yeah, Jerry, I understand. Pick your nose. Yeah. You've been playing the fiddle, so to speak, too much.
Yes.
You go blind, Jerry. You go blind.
Or have a nosebleed. Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
Well, no, seriously, Jerry, keep getting well. But just knock off. I was going to say knock off, but that's the wrong word. Don't do the oliness. You know what I mean. Don't do that so much.
I was going to say, to be honest, he can't hear this anyway because I don't think he listens. No. It was Owen Edmonds that me and him were just having a giggle. And I said, I'm going to ask James.
No, if that happens, you seek medical help.
Yeah, well, he did.
Thank God.
Yeah.
These are the sort of questions you should be asking our guests next week. And I bet the guest will never ever return. He'll be like, hello, be gone.
That is exactly the reason why I won't be asking our guest next week. Are we announcing something now? Are we?
We could wait. Wait till the end. Keep everybody guessing.
Well, I mean, to be honest, if you're on our social media, most people have guessed already. So I think we'll do it as an opener.
Okay. Did you hear that, Salty Tadpoles? My idea, what happened is I put my idea forward. Gemma then, if this was a bush, There was no beating around the bush. Gemma basically got paraffin, poured it all over the bush, set it on fire, and then took a chainsaw to the remnants of it.
I did say or. I thought we were in the negotiation stage, you know. I talk with my hands so much. It's so funny.
It's true. She does.
Yeah.
The hand gestures are disgusting.
The look of unimpressment. I am so unimpressed with you talking over me.
Unimpressment. Go on.
Unimpressment. Might be an episode title, you know. The stupid random shit that comes out my mouth is normally the episode title. So we'll see. But I was going to say, so we could either make our announcement now, or we could discuss how our weeks have been and then make the announcement. How do you think?
Let's do our weeks.
Okay. Well, you start then, because my week's been a bit up and down. So maybe your week's been a bit better.
Like a roller coaster. That was kind of cool. It was like a worm. How's my week been? Other than the fact that my week kind of segues into Codswallop, because I'm just being driven slightly insane by the fact that every single time I try and watch a video on YouTube, I'm treated to advert after bloody advert. I
mean, you've used that for Codswallop, but you can't use it one more time. It's like the ghost story all over again. You can't use that anymore.
Yeah, it's changing my blood pressure, because I think they've even changed the way the advert's being done now, which is, in the past, it'd be the start, then you might get another one in the middle. And now you're trying to skip through a video and it's going advert. But no, other than that, I'm all right. And I've seen some very, very disappointing films this week.
Which we'll get into in a moment.
Yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah, that's
other than that, I'm okay.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, like I said, I've had a bit of an up and down week this week, to be honest. I was a bit sad on Friday. Basically, it's sort of the whole, I'm going to be serious, boring and serious for a few minutes. But so sort of with the long COVID and stuff, I'm really struggling at the moment. And going into the office is really tiring me, more so than usual. And I'd like to have a giggle and laugh, but it turned, basically I ended up having to call my boss on Friday last week, and in absolute floods of tears, because I was just, I was like, I'm done with this. I just can't physically do it anymore. So we've got a meeting on Thursday, so we'll see how that goes with the HR. So, yeah.
I can appreciate this. I've been through all this, and it's horrible. And it's incredibly tough if you have not had this to understand the sheer impact this illness has. It's still something that people are learning about. And I think the general problem is a lot of people aren't taking this seriously. The problem it creates for people, they think it's maybe the person with it, they're treating it as some sort of ruse, or it's they'll get over it. And I don't think it's from my own experience and from what you're saying, it's not quite as simple as that. So I'm very sorry you're having this, and I hope that when you do speak to them at work, they are understanding and kind to you.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, my boss is being really good still. But we'll leave it as that, because, there's dangerous ground that I'm stepping into, sort of, landmines and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to put my feet on them. But but still, my boss is being really understanding. And on Friday, she said, even over the weekend, if I wanted to give her a call, I could give her a call, which is, it's really nice of her. The other thing, I mean, I did have bit more fun over the week in a way. Started my long COVID rehab, which was interesting. That was on Wednesday last week. So it's every Wednesday. So, today's Tuesday. So the next one will be tomorrow. So it's kind of like James probably knows all about this, because I think you did it, didn't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. But it was kind of like the exercises were like cardio exercises, but it was like cardio for like 90-year-olds. We're all moving as slowly as possible.
Well, it's very much like armchair aerobics, isn't it? to initially, but they will probably, if I remember, they send you videos. Like there's like a course you can do that's on videos. That gets quite a lot more intensive. So that's some good stuff. They'll have you doing press ups, which are interesting to the wall based press ups.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my face
on
then.
The floor, yeah. But you're against the wall and you're basically just doing normal press ups against it. And they have you doing sitting exercise. Have you done the breathing one yet? We have to expel all. You probably do that later on some point. You have to expel all the air to clear your lungs, and you will start coughing after doing it. You definitely will start coughing as a smoker. I remember you really do start coughing with it. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the cough is the only thing that I can really deal with. Everything else is just awful. I was saying to James the other day, I think we messaged, not talked, but I can't remember. But I said that in some ways, I'd like to bottle this up, how I'm feeling. And just for anybody who doubts it, I'd like them to just experience it for like half a day, not any longer than half a day, just so that they can experience really, truly what I'm feeling, so anybody that's really doubting it. But yeah, so
it is no fun. It is no fun.
No, not at all. But, I'm still smiling. I'm still laughing. Just some of it's fake. So,
I still am intrigued by the people who think COVID's all a giant, conspiracy theory.
I know. I wonder if are there people still thinking like that? Because me, I don't really.
Yeah.
Really?
Nope, there are. When I had my fourth jab, which I was lucky enough to get, they were doing like one of those pop-up jab places, which I've not been able to get it when they're doing them at the doctor's surgery. A guy turns up and starts harassing the NHS people.
Oh,
he's got the newspapers that some people hand out that are saying against the jab and saying it's all a giant conspiracy, and there are still some people who think like that.
I assume he wasn't there to get his jab.
He was. I won't go into too much detail, but we'll just say he was being very, very argumentative and challenging towards the people giving out the jabs.
So almost like protesting it kind of thing.
Spot on.
Yeah, because we can say that. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be people out there who do these things. And you know what? If you want to live your life like that, that's absolutely fine, isn't it? As long as it doesn't affect us.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah. Yeah. James just did the wanker symbol. Because although we're on video, we're still not airing the video.
Yeah.
But next week I will be back in my bedroom. Yeah. So you never know.
Yes.
Yeah. Or next week we definitely will be.
Codswallop After Dark.
I got such goofy teeth.
Oh, you haven't. It's all good.
I have. But so and then Saturday I took Sox for a walk. Took him for about a half-hour walk, and then Sunday I was completely buggered. My legs were in agony. My back was killing me. All because I had to walk up a hill. But it was while I was taking him out for a walk. Me and him really, really loved it. So that was nice. Just along there's like a Rodwell trail, which I think I've spoken about before. And in the daytime, it's lovely, dodgy at night. But, I wouldn't go down there on my own at night anyway. But, so that was nice. It was, quite nice weather. So, well, it was nice weather for the UK.
As good as it can be, yeah. So it was 90-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, back of the net.
Yeah, it was slightly overcast with the sun breaking through. But, But so that's my week really. But I've also been watching quite a few things, but I think we should get into your things first because I actually enjoyed mine.
Okay. Yeah. So I watched a film called You People, which from the trailers looked really good. And I probably should have learned from past experience. Not always A great trailer does not always birth a great film.
No.
So it's you people. It has it's Jonah Hill. It's his film predominantly, and then like the rest of the cast who are really kind of the people I suspect most people would tune in for it. There's Eddie Murphy in it and Julie Louis-Dreyfus. It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's also trying to look at the idea of the challenges of an interracial couple. But it's just not funny.
No.
I honestly think I laughed maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the entire film. I actually believe this sounds terrible. I think I laughed more than the final line in the entire film that Eddie Murphy delivered than anything else. I don't know. It's just it had promise, but the cast just, I guess they were not given something they could particularly work with. It wasn't even getting good reviews. It's not as bad as Velma, which is getting is now listed as the worst reviewed cartoon series in history.
See, I've not seen that one, so I guess maybe we should review that one just so that we can be up to date with the review or something.
It's getting 1 star. It's getting 1 star, Velma. 1 star.
Well,
people putting if I could give it less, I would.
Well, you could just not review it.
Yeah. But what I did see that was really good was I can't remember what it was called. I watched it only yesterday. I've forgotten the name of it. It's a new series. In fact, I was discussing this recently with somebody. Why do we do this to ourselves when we're going, I can't remember the name of something? We have something called the internet. We can look for things. It's not like in the past you'd be having a really hard thought. Yeah, I think I remember once seeing a film or TV show. What was it? It's a TV series called Shrinking.
Okay.
It's about a man who's lost his wife, who's a therapist, and he's having to deal. His life is falling apart, but obviously he has to be a therapist to people as well. He's dealing with that. But it's Jason Segel and it's Harrison Ford in it, and it's a really good. So far, it's a really good series. It's only 2 episodes in, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's funny.
Oh, okay.
And tragic at the same time. So it works. It's quite well.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like, first of all, back to you people, it sounds like you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed every single episode of Seinfeld.
Which is interesting because it has Julie Louis-Dreyfus who was in Seinfeld. And I mean, of course, you've got Eddie Murphy and her, who both are on Saturday Night Live. So, yeah.
I did.
You think
I did join the dots there, by the way, everyone. Just so you know.
Yeah. It wasn't just she wasn't just saying that for the fun of it. There was a purpose behind it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Mostly there's purpose for what I say, but there you have it. But and also going back to your Googling thing, one thing that unfortunately doesn't help though is when you see something as you're driving down the road and you go, oh, that's really funny. I should bring that up on the podcast. Gone.
Happens a lot. Yeah, been there, done that.
I'm even because that was today, so I've been in the office again today, and I'm sort of looking past the screen sort of thing to see if I can visualize my drive home. I'm in my car with the steering wheel. even doing 10 to 2.
See, that's the thing. I do like the fact you really are doing 10 to 2. You would pass your test, unlike the way most people end up, like the way I drive now. That'll be fine. I mean, I'm an Audi driver, so I'm a god amongst men anyway on the road.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when Audis become self-driving cars, I mean, that will be perfect for you, wouldn't it?
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Especially if you had a long stretch vehicle and just sit in the back. So it's like you've got a chauffeur.
Yeah, that would be good. Until you get to an accident. But actually, because I'm sort of diverting us, because I will go back to what I've been watching. But there was a report of somebody, because obviously Tesla is a self-driving car, isn't it? Mm-hmm. There was a report of a guy who had done so basically he was speeding, And, the police were sort of speeding behind him to sort of catch him sort of thing. But he was still sort of speeding, carrying on and whatnot. But it turned out that the reason why he was speeding was because he put the self-drive on his Tesla, and it was just doing over the speed limit. And he was in the back having a little nap. I mean, surely
Brilliant.
You've still got to have your eyes on the road to see if like something happens, an accident or whatever.
You do, and it's not just Tesla that have the facility, because I know my cousin's got on his couch, I think it's a Leaf, and it can, to a degree, drive itself. And he says you've got to, you are trusting it.
Yeah.
He's still quite hesitant to do it. It's like, my dad's car will park itself, but my dad will not trust it to do it. So he's like, nope, not happening.
I think also, like, when does it stop that you are in control of the car? The car's controlling you, isn't it? It's like robots again, trusting so much into a robot. It's like, but
yes, it is. I mean, I find the whole thing strange. People who like completely wired up the house to Alexa. I know people who did that. I wouldn't have done that. You're giving it too much information and trust. So yeah, I will let Alexa do so much stuff, predominantly my music, and that's it. But let's be fair, it knows most of the stuff about you, I think, anyway. So I don't know. It begins. I mean, you keep seeing that image online of like a woman who had one of those vacuums that do the house themselves, and it attached her hair, and they're having to try and get her hair out of it. And then they have a picture of a Terminator going, "It begins."
Although that said, I did watch a little, Facebook video thing. Those little ones. I think they go on TikTok, but I'm not sure they're on Facebook anyway. But there was a black Labrador that was just laying at the bottom of the stairs, and this little Hoover thing was actually going towards it and then going around the dog. And the dog was just lying there as if to say, don't care.
At least it didn't try and vacuum the dog. So.
No, it was literally just going up to, like it was even going around its legs, so up to its stomach and whatnot, But literally. Wasn't hurting the dog, obviously, because otherwise the dog would have got up. But
yeah, it'll see the dog as an obstacle, won't it? And its design will be that it doesn't sort of ram into things. So that's. I'm impressed. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm more impressed by the dog. Just doesn't care. So
I think Socks would be like, "What's that?" and then try and attack it.
Yeah. Oh, I could definitely see Socks trying to eat it. Definitely. Chase it around the house trying to eat it. This will be my dinner.
Yeah, he follows my mum up the hall with the Hoover quite often. So not actually trying to eat it, but just like pretending to help, I think. There's a bit of dirt there, Jenny, there's a bit of dirt there. But yeah, so anyway, what I've been watching, it was called there's a Netflix series called Women at War, I think it was, or Women in War, but I think it was at war. But it's a French program, but it's also dubbed in English, and it was really, really good. And it was an 8-part series, and it's all about the World War II, and obviously when Germany decided to attack everybody, and and it's like a story. But there's like the women are, one is a wife of a rich man who's in a factory. Another one is a prostitute, and then there's there's a few other women, but they all there's a nun, a nurse who's actually on the run because she did like an illegal abortion and stuff like that. But it's like the story of how they're all coming together in this small little town that's kind of right on the front line, and their sort of journey for it all. And turns out the prostitute has got a son who's actually one of the guys in the war and stuff like that. And I'm not giving anything away with what I'm saying, but it was really, really good, and highly recommend watching it if
cool.
Because it's not even like like how I feel about action. I'm not a massive fan of action and whatnot, but this was enough story for me to be gripped as well. And you don't notice the dubbing after a while either. My mum said that as well. She said you don't notice it because you're so gripped with the story.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really good. I also watched The Pale Blue Eye as well. Have you seen that? Yeah?
I have, yeah. Not a film to watch while you're eating.
No, not necessarily. No, it's, especially halfway through anyway.
I was chowing down at a certain point.
But it did make me laugh that actually most of the people in it were actually British.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah. And they were all doing like this southern, like American accent kind of thing. And yeah, so
from Bale.
Yeah.
Bale had like this weird Irish accent.
yeah, exactly. But no, I thought that was really good as well. Really good storyline. And I think the only thing that kind of annoyed me about it was because they kept having like almost whispered tones at one point. You like it more towards the beginning than towards the sort of end. But it was the whispered tones. I was sort of like, oh, stop doing that. It's annoying. I can't hear it.
I know. I'm glad you liked it, but yeah. Bale and his Lucky Charms were.
Yeah, definitely. And you've not watched Harry Potter, have you?
No, and it's never, ever, ever, ever going to happen.
Might do.
Ever.
What if we review it one day? Anyway, in the first Harry Potter, the guy who played, what was the poet's name? I've forgotten.
Poe. It was Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah.
Edgar, that's it. Edgar Allan Poe. So, the guy who played him was actually the cousin of Harry Potter, who was like a real chubby kid. And it was really weird. No, I know that's lost on you, but it's really weird because he's so skinny in this, and it's like you almost can't work out, but his eyes are so close together. It's like, oh my God, what's going on with you?
he also, to be honest, really made him look like Poe. That was really impressive.
Yeah.
How much he looked like him. So yeah, it was a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going back to it, I remember watching it. I'm like, this accent, it's Bale's accent. It's like, it's going from one to the other to.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really good storyline. There's a bit of supernatural involved. There's quite a good twist at the end. And so.
No, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Very weird film, but good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then the last thing that I've been watching, which I have got one episode left to watch, is The Hobbit, the TV series The Hobbit. And no, you're not seeing it?
Not seen it, no.
No. I mean, it's good, but it also feels a bit forced and false. So you know how obviously the film The Hobbit was, we both like that film, don't we? Would you not like that film?
I've never seen it, so.
Oh, right. Let me backtrack a minute. Because I know that you have seen the film, but I'm not talking about the right film.
No, I've never seen The Hobbit. I'm not watching The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit.
No, you haven't. You haven't. You have watched another film with a little person in.
Oh, okay.
So on Disney Plus, I've been
Willow?
watching. I've been watching Willow.
It's a shame, isn't it? This is the problem with long COVID. The memory goes. It's taken two of us to work something out. I have seen Willow a long, long time ago. Yeah, two of our family friends were in it. So yeah, and
also past guests as well.
Yes, sorry. Took me a second. I know that person. I'm going, really? Yeah.
Do you want to say her name?
Who else do I know who worked on this film? Yes, Robin was in it.
Yes.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Sorry, Salty Tadpoles. You've got two people who can't remember anything. But we sort of like, it takes us a while, but we can dance around and sort of get to the right thing. Might take us an hour, might take us 2 hours, but we get there, kind of.
We do. We get there in the end. So let me start that again. So I've started on Disney Plus, Willow, the TV series, which I really loved the film, and I know that James loved it too. But have you seen the TV series? No. So I like it, like I said. So everything else that I said was true, but it does feel a little bit forced and false.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that, yeah.
I'm just gonna. This will be an edit, so I'm just gonna look up the cast of Willow in a minute so that I don't embarrass myself any further.
One of the things I heard where they had a problem with it is the fact that they're trying to bring a lot of modern stuff into it.
Yeah,
and like it hasn't really worked so well. But yes, still laughing. James, you know people who've been in it? Yeah, I know 2 people who've been in it. No, James, you know somebody else who's been in it? I do. Can't remember anything. Yeah, then like ding. It's like, what happened to that point? What happened to that point is someone's pulled the string to light the light up. Ding.
Yeah, so obviously Warwick Davis comes back, which is amazing. I love Warwick Davis. It's really hard to sort of, because obviously I've seen the film, so I know he's playing his character, but it was also, that felt a little bit forced. But then I suppose it's been like, 30 years since the last time he played that character, thereabouts?
Probably, maybe even a bit more, so yeah.
Yeah, so, maybe there's that, but, still, he does a good job. But yeah, there's a lot of like the woke side of things, and there's the token, lesbian attraction, and the kids that are, well, not kids, but they're like teenage, like late teenagers, early 20s sort of thing. Yeah, they're acting a bit like they're dumb, basically. Like, I don't know what you said. So, but yeah, I mean, I would recommend to actually watch it. It's not horrendous, but if you're looking for something that's really, really good, then yeah, maybe not. But I wanted to still watch it because I thought that, it's kind of, everyone's raving about it or whatever. Everyone's talking about it at the moment. So I thought, well, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon like everybody else at the moment. So
is it finished, or is there still episodes to go?
I'm not sure actually. Let me see how many episodes there are actually, because there's 8 published on Disney Plus. Yeah, it seems to be that it's 8 episodes. So I think.
So have you watched all of it, do you think, then? Or is it coming out every week?
That I don't know until I'll let you know next week.
Okay.
Because at the moment,
I want to ask if you've seen a certain person in it, but it might, that I've read is in it, but it might give stuff away. I'll
just ask. That's right. It's because I've just had the cast of people up. So it's not really.
Val Kilmer's not in it for obvious reasons, as I understand it. Christian Slater's in it, though, isn't he? Is Christian Slater playing Val Kilmer's character?
No, he's pretending to be him.
Right.
So
Okay.
so he's one of the caged men in this, like, it's kind of, I think it was, well, anyway, it was a bad place, so to speak. It was one of the bad places that they had to save people from. So yeah, I can't remember what they were. But anyway, trolls. I think they were called trolls, actually. So he was in one of the cages, and he said that he'd been there for 10 years. And when somebody asked what his name was, he said, "Oh, I'm, Mad Mark. What is
Mardigan.
it? Yeah,
Mad Mardigan. Yeah,
yeah. I can never say that properly."
I'd love to be on set going to Joanne Whaley and go, "Which is worse, this or Stockport?" No, I like Stockport. For those who listen, it's just where she's from. So.
I've never been, so I have no comment. So I have no idea. But so there's that. But I was just thinking as well, there was another thing that I've been watching as well, because you don't watch American Horror Story, do you?
Well, I've dabbled. I think I've seen a couple of episodes. I more saw the stuff that, because it's all the same kind of studio, isn't it? Who did like the Crime Story and stuff. So I watched more of the Crime Story and the True Life stuff. Yeah, I've only maybe seen a couple of episodes of the horror story stuff.
No, I think we're thinking of two different programs, possibly. American Horror Story is a TV program, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not true life. It's
No, but the same people.
Oh yes,
it's all the same studio.
Yes,
and they keep casting the same woman in stuff as well.
Yeah, they have swapped out characters recently. So like the bigger the cast, bigger the person's got, that they've not really returned. But at the moment they are. Well, I've just finished it. I think it is. It seems like it's wrapped up because I can never work out exactly how many episodes of each episode there are, but each series. Sorry, but yeah, it's this one was called NYC. So it was based in New York, obviously. And it was based in I think it was the 60s or 70s. And it was when AIDS started. So, they were sort of working out in the early stages of the AIDS virus. And, that all these there was a lot of like gay characters in this one. And, the fact that they were all getting these moles and stuff like that coming up and not knowing what was going on. But yeah, this series, I absolutely love it. I just, I think there's 11 series so far and 11 episodes per series, I believe. So it's, I highly recommend it because although it is the same cast pretty much each season, season, whatever, you don't think of them as the previous character. You think of them as their new character. And but this time round it was what's Star Wars lady called? She died.
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, so it's Carrie Fisher's daughter who's in it.
Oh yeah, I like her. She's good.
Yeah, she is. She's really good, and she's had. Sorry.
No, go on.
Okay. I was going to say she's been in it quite. Been in quite a few of them. Billy something. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Out of interest, was Sarah Paulson in it?
No, not this one.
No. Oh my God, she's in all of the stuff. That's the only way I can link it. You see. Because she did all that, and then she was doing the real life stuff, which is like the crime story stuff. So that's that's the only way I link it all, basically. But they've done a few. They did what the crime stuff was like, the OJ one. They did one about Versace, the murder of Versace. They did the show that was about, God, who was it? Come on, brain, work for me. But it's not working for me.
What are you trying to? Because there was Creep Show. There was like the Creep Show.
Well, it's the true life stuff. They did one about Betty Davis, didn't they? And Joan Crawford.
Yes. I think so. Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah. The actress's name that I was trying to think of earlier was Billy Lord. That's Carrie Fisher's daughter, but she's brilliant. She's brilliant in her own right. So anyone who's not watched American Horror Story out there, including James, needs to watch it from start to finish.
I definitely want to watch the end of the one about Versace because I got into a few episodes of that. I missed the ending, so yeah, I'll have to dial back and watch stuff.
You just watch it from the beginning.
Well, no. I mean, I'm going to have to do it in portions and watch the crime story one that I need to get to the end of, and then I can watch the horror. Because the horror stuff, does it look at some real life stuff as well and intertwines that? I think it had stuff from various hauntings and things in them.
Sometimes, cases. Sometimes, like the first ever series was, it's basically like a haunted house. So these people move into this house, and then there's everyone who's sort of died in the property is then haunting the house. So so there's the young lad who is, oh God, brains. I've removed the list now.
It's
Evan
okay.
Peters.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
No, I've got that. Evan Peters. So he basically went to school and he did a school shooting, and but he he doesn't remember that he's dead, or he kind of knows that he's dead, but it's very twist and turny kind of thing. But there's also,
I like this. It sounds really screwed up. I think I might enjoy this.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a really good idea to actually watch it from series 1 and carry on, because some of them actually interlink as well. So there's one about like witchcraft. There's one about a freak show. I think it's actually called Freak Show, and there's loads of other ones as well. I can't think of all of them because there's literally 11. So
I'll watch the end of the Real Life Versace one, because I think I only like 2 episodes of that, which I kept telling myself I should finish and watch, and then I'll watch the crime story stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, I got really sucked into watching the O.J. Simpson one. That was really, really good stuff. Really interesting. So yeah.
Yeah. I still feel like we're talking about a different program though, but okay.
Well, we are. But
okay.
We are, but it's all the same studio. So like, they did offshoots. They do the stuff you watch, and then they suddenly start doing offshoot stuff of real life crime stuff or real life events.
Okay. Okay. See, I didn't know that part, I don't think. So maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who knows? Anyway, we've been talking about what we've been watching for ages.
Yeah, neither of us can remember anything anymore. So,
should we now?
Who's our guest? Who's our guest next week? Can either of us remember?
I was just going to say,
come on, and we'll be like, who the hell are you?
Can we make our announcement now, please?
Yes.
Yay! So, Salty Tadpoles, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Next week's episode will be, well, maybe not next week's episode, but on Monday, the 6th of February, depending on how quickly I can edit the video, that is, because there will be a video version and there will be audio version. So, look up on YouTube, and because we have a special guest, and we may or may not, but I'm not sure, but we may or may not have actually alluded to it a little bit. So I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if we've given enough clues, or if so basically next week we will be talking to the one and only Chesney Hawks.
Yeah! Hell yes. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Now, because of this video, I will wear, balaclava.
Unlike his winter clothes that he's currently wearing with his scarf, his coat on, his gloves.
It's terrible. I never used to get cold, and now I seem to get cold. It's horrible. But no, I used to always have no problem when there was cold weather.
Yeah,
but we've digressed majorly. So
I love how we've just announced Chesney Hawks is coming on, and then we're like, James is cold.
Yeah. It's all great because Chesney is coming from the wonderful, USA, where I'm sure he is nice and warm at the moment.
Yes. Well, potentially. I mean, he might be over in the UK visiting his parents, but we'll find out next week or potentially the week after, depending again on the video. But when we speak to him next week,
we'll get an idea where he is.
Where he is. Yeah. If he's in LA or if he's actually, cold like we are. But I'm not nearly as cold as James it looks. So.
I'm just but no, it is. I've gone into the state where it is the honest truth. When I was younger, I think partly it's probably because my thyroid's knackered, but I used to be like, cold was never a major problem for me, and now it's like, oh my God, I'm cold even when I've got the heat on, I'm cold.
No,
what the hell have I become?
Yeah, we're just old. I think we're old, but James nods when instead of says yes. So just in case anyone wonders, he nods. He doesn't say yes.
Yes, I do nod.
Yeah. He silently laughs and he nods.
Yeah.
But anyway, Chesney Hawks is going to be on next week's episode.
I will try and do more than nod and silently laughing, because the poor guy will be like, yeah, what's he doing? He's nodding, yeah.
At least it'll be video next week. Or
that's true.
Again,
that's true.
Next week, whatever. But
whenever it goes out, there will be video of it. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's much easier to say. So, yes, so I think that this is going to be lots of fun. And funny enough, he's been all over the place just lately. I don't know if you watched Michael McIntyre's Big Show, I think it's called, but I can't hear you.
I don't have a TV. I thought you were lip reading me. I'm like, I don't have a TV, so no.
No. Okay. So, but yeah, anyway, he was recently on that program, and I was just like, are you serious? Like you don't see him much for ages, but then you get an interview with him and it's like everywhere I look, I'm like, oh, there he is.
I reckon he must be in the UK, but we will find out. Why? There's no point trying to work it out. We can ask the man himself. So.
He certainly can. Yeah. And that reminds me that I need to finish off my questions and maybe email them to you so you can have a look, see what I'm actually going to ask. But anyway, we can work that out off mic. So
I'm assuming my questions were okay. I don't really know what else I could add to them.
Oh, I deleted them.
Pops in, bastards.
Yeah, of course.
I have still got them.
Yeah. Of course, I'll think
if anything else pops into my head, I will ask. So obviously this will get deleted. But my dad was very impressed when I told him that he was coming. I was like, Chesney Hawk. So yeah.
Why is that getting deleted?
Okay, we can keep it in. Yeah. So
my mum and Graham and my brother and everyone is really proud of me too. So it's okay.
Yes, Gemma did pull off a wonderful coup. So well done, Gemma.
Well, I mean, all I did was ask, and he said, yeah. Well, his assistant said yes. So, yeah. And I assume that she would have run it by him first.
I'd love it if he's on the show and he's going, who are you people? God, what the hell am I on?
What shitty podcast is this? It's not shitty, it's Codswallop.
Yeah. But you're getting there, Chester. You're getting there. You get the gist.
So yes, so you will have seen on social media that I posted up if you've got any questions that you would like to ask the man himself, not James Chesney Hawks.
You can ask me. I'll try and answer them.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to ask me any questions, you can do that as well. Yeah. But
in fact, if you want to ask either of us questions, we'll answer them as best we can.
Yeah, absolutely. We will, but we'll maybe do that on a different episode. But yes, so, but I will have posted up, sort of mid this week. So today's Sunday as you're listening to this episode. So if you have any questions that you want to ask.
Freaked me out for a minute.
Freaked you out.
I was like, what? It's Sunday.
It's not Sunday. We release the episode every single Sunday, if you haven't noticed. Yeah. Unless it's a Friday, and then we release it on a Friday sometimes as well. But yeah, so today is Sunday in podcast world, okay? But it's Tuesday in Gemma and James's world.
You. Damn time travel.
I know. That reminds me, actually, that's one of my questions. I need to keep that in my head. But yes, so basically, if you have got any questions and you haven't sent me anything at the moment, then please get them across to me ASAP, because obviously Monday is going to be like a lot of prep work. So if you can get them across to me, that would be amazing. And if we don't ask them, that's because we may have asked it ourselves. But know that we will try. Okay.
Indeed we will.
Well, James, I feel like we have successfully talked for a lot longer than 40 minutes. So that's good.
Yes, we have. We certainly have.
I can feel it in my throat. My throat is getting a bit dry.
Voice is starting to go.
Yeah. Yep. So should we move on to some stories of the week to sort of wrap up this week's episode?
I think we should.
Yeah. Okay, so shall I go first? Or as I've been doing a lot of talking, okay. Fine. So, for God's sake, it had been open this whole time and then it decided to close right at the moment when I needed it. Why is technology against me, James? Why?
It wants revenge for something.
Yes. We were kind of spoilt for choice with the Metro this week, weren't we? So
well,
we may
spoiled by them is a very loose term, because it's the writing of the Metro. But we did find a few articles.
Yes, we did. They at least had updated their website, so so that we could actually find some stuff to mock them over. So as I've said, this is from the Metro. So, dog stuns neighbours by ripping off letterbox and chewing a hole through the door. Sorry, in the door, but don't matter. Through the door, in the door, don't matter. Okay. This is the hilarious moment a dog appears to be making a desperate bid for freedom. So there's a video and it's 23 seconds long. So if anyone wants to go and watch it, there it is. Angel, the Japanese Attica cross, Akita cross. Don't know. Akita?
That's an Akita. Yeah, an Akita dog.
Okay. What is an Akita? Okay, I'll watch the video after we were filming. Was filmed chewing an enormous hole in the owner's front door after apparently ripping the letterbox clean off. The naughty dog tears chunks out of the UPCV door before poking his head through the hole in Keltley in Fife. In Fife, anyway. Walking out your dad's to see a dog literally eat through a door. The video caption on TikTok read, okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Just doesn't make sense to my head, but I guess that's my dyslexia playing up. Unsurprisingly, the clip soon went viral, prompting discussion about why the dog was acting so oddly. Sarah Jane Bell wrote, "Oh, my old boy done this sort of thing for years. You have to replace a door every time they do it. Why didn't you just train your dog not to do it? I had to take him everywhere with me until I got another dog. Separation anxiety, most likely." Aww.
It seems a bit odd that she's saying I had to take him everywhere until I got another dog, but it would have probably been easy, as you said, to train the dog. But anyway.
Yeah, I suppose the dog needed some company, I guess, is what she means by that. So
yeah, loneliness.
Yeah, exactly. Probably best not to talk with the mic muted, James?
Yeah, but it adds to the experience, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But, poor James has got to listen to my painful reading at the moment, which will be edited perfectly so that you guys can actually hear it nicely. But I try. Donna Alley said, "Bless him. He is desperate to get out. Someone needs to check on the residents." So, because he might have eaten them. You never know. But owner Suzanne explained that Angel is really just a big softie. Well, that's what I say about Mr. Sox, but, when he's gnawing on the postman's leg, it's a different thing.
I was going to say, I'm not sure. I think this dog would give Sox a run for his money. Sox only hunts down postmen. This thing eats doors.
I know.
And probably postmen as well.
Yeah, probably. She told STV News, so because it's in Scotland, animal welfare came out to check him over, but they left after they realised he came from a loving home. The woman actually just called him a naughty dog. We all just love him so much, we can't punish him for that. Yes, you can. You can punish him because otherwise he won't learn. You can still love him, but you have to punish them. Even if it's going to cost us £300 for a new door, we are just laughing about it, really. I'm sorry, but can I ask these people for £300, please? Because I'd love to have £300. I'd spend it on much more than a door.
I also noticed that clearly when you said you can love them and punish them, at the same time, you've obviously been speaking to Joanne again, haven't you?
Yeah. No, not that kind of punishment, James. That's naughty. But especially when it comes to dogs, because I'm not into bestiality.
Your mind went there. I wasn't thinking bestiality. I was just thinking other things. But anyway.
Well, you brought Joanne into it. So,
yes.
Sorry, Joanne, if you listen. We really like you. So.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I'd wonder is that dog's stomach must be full of some really weird stuff like wood and insulation.
I know.
And God knows what else. And metal. The one I've got is interestingly weird. So Mars scientists think they found a grizzly bear's face on the red planet.
Yeah.
Would there be life on Mars? Well, this might qualify as the bare minimum. Oh. Wow. Fantastic. NASA scientists have identified a peculiar formation on the red planet's surface that looks remarkably similar to the face of a grizzly bear.
To be fair, it did.
Yeah. And a bit of a toy bear as well. But the strange image was taken by the Mars reconnaissance orbiter from a height of 251 kilometers. The spacecraft took the photo with its HI-RISE high-resolution imaging science experiment camera, which is the most powerful ever to be deployed to another planet. NASA explained the true nature of the curious formation. This feature looks a bit like a bear's face. What is it really? There's a hill with a V-shaped collapse structure, which is the nose, two craters, the eyes, and a circular fracture pattern, which is the head. The circular fracture pattern might be due to the settling of a deposit over a buried impact crater. Maybe the nose is volcanic or mud vent, and the deposit could be lava or mud flows. Maybe just grin and bear it, they said.
Oh.
And being the Metro, that's it. That's the end of the article. Huzzah.
I don't know about you, James, but I feel as though we should have skipped stories of the week this week because the episode was actually quite good until we brought them on.
I know, but we've got if we're going to feel the pain of reading them, the tadpoles have to feel the pain of listening to them.
And we're contractually obligated. That's easy for me to say, because there is writing into a contract somewhere. We can't find it to rip it up, but
to quote Neil Innes, I've suffered for my art. No, so must you.
That's a very, very good quote. Yeah, definitely. Suffering for our art. Maybe that's what we could call the episode. A nice little nod to him. Yes. Right. Well, James, I think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
I have been James.
Yes, you have. And guess what, guys?
I think I have.
You do? Yeah. But guess what, guys? Guess what? Chesney Hawks is going to be on the next episode. Are you excited?
I'm everyone, so yes, I'm very excited.
Are you excited? I am super excited.
It's going to be wonderful.
I think it is too.
Yes. I think it will be very good. We can ask him lots of interesting questions.
Yes. James is going to ask him about his hair care.
Yes, we're going to compare notes.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss the liberal use of conditioner.
Yeah, definitely. And more importantly, we're going to throw our knickers at him.
Well, I didn't think you were going to explain that I was wearing those things, but
All right, you can throw your pants, your underpants.
Yes. Well, it's been a good run when we get arrested.
yeah. Well, at least the episode will be out before we get arrested. So, hopefully we'll get some more viewers because of that.
Yes. And he files the restraining order.
Yeah. No, he's going to love us to pieces. We're going to be like best friends at the end of it. So, sharing numbers, having fun, meeting up, having drinkies. Anyway, so Salty Tadpoles, it's us to go now. Time for us to go even. And we'll see you next week. And if you don't know by now, our social media is at Codswallop Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And just go and follow us. Also, click that subscribe button, little subscribe button. Just press it. Go like that. Press.
Yeah. Do it. Make our lives better.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.